Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing an unboxing and comparison video of the Lorac Mega Pro 2 palette with the original Lorac Mega Pro that came out last holiday. I'm also going to be comparing it to the two original regular Pro palettes, 1 and 2. So I went to Ulta earlier this week when it came out and I grabbed it the first day because I remember last year how much of a hassle it was to get the palette. So I made sure I went and got it early this time. So let's get right into it. This is my little pink bag from Ulta because it's October. That's what they do. So this is what the box looks like. It's blue. And I believe that this box is blue because this palette, from what I've heard, is supposed to be more cool tone than last year. Last year's palette was red. This year's palette is blue. And last year's was more warm tone. So I'll talk about that later. But this is what the box looks like. Let's go ahead and read what's on the back. It says, Go Pro with the Lorac Mega Pro Palette 2, created by celebrity makeup artist Carol Shaw. This limited edition Pro Artistry palette is the sequel to our original best-selling Mega Pro palette. Double the size of the original Pro palette, the Mega Pro Palette 2 is loaded with 16 shimmer and 16 matte eyeshadows to add to your collection of Pro shadows. Lorac's velvety smooth shadows are infused with soothing botanicals and ultra pigmented to perform wet or dry so you can shade, shadow, line, and define your eyes just like a pro. So let's go ahead and open it. It's in this huge box that has nothing else in it. No eyeshadow primer, no nothing. Because with the regular pro palettes, I'm pretty sure they give you a sample size of their eyeshadow primer. This massive box doesn't have anything in it but the palette, which is a bit disappointing, but I'm glad that they put it in a bigger box because last year, I know you could order it from Amazon or the Lorac website. Well, I was studying abroad in France when I ordered mine and shipped it to my house here in the US, and I remember hearing that people had received theirs broken and that there wasn't enough stock to replace them, so they were kind of just SOL. So I told my mom, I was like, Mom, you have to open it, make sure it's not broken, because it literally just came wrapped in paper. Like, this thing just came wrapped in straight up paper, and luckily mine wasn't broken, but Amazon, you gotta do better when shipping makeup items. So here it is. Let's open it up. It has a gigantic mirror. It comes with a little protective sleeve on it as normal. Here is what the palette looks like. Let's see. From what I'm looking at, there are some nice shades. They're a lot more lighter in tone than I would like, obviously because I'm a darker skin complexion. There's a whole lot of light shades right here. There's some purples, dark sienna, which I know that they have a color, I think that's called regular sienna in another palette. There's a glittery black, there's typical matte black, there's saddle, which I don't know what color that reminds me of, but their sable in their original Pro palette is my favorite. That's my stuff. So this palette does look more cool tone, though there are some cooler tone warm shades, if that makes sense. Like this orange, it's called tangerine. Yes, it's an orange, so obviously that's a warm color, but it's not as warm as it could be. Goji, Cabernet, they're like redder shades, but they could be warmer, if that makes sense. So now I'm going to open up the original Mega Pro, the first one. This one was red, like I said. This one is blue. Alright, so here are both of the palettes side by side. This is the new Mega Pro. This is the old Mega Pro. Now, they look pretty similar, but as you can see, this one is a bit more warm tone, and this one is a bit more cool tone. Now, they both have a significant number of lighter shades in the palette, and I would probably say that on me, you probably won't be able to tell a difference whatsoever. Porcelain, custard, bisque, sugar, moonlight, cream, white, opal, vanilla, fawn. Yeah, they kind of all will look the same on me. Both palettes have a shimmery black. On the new one, it's called Black Ivy. On the old one over here, I know it's out of the frame, I'm sorry. It's called Caviar. There is a blue, a shimmery blue in the new one, and there is a deep teal over here, right there. A deep teal. Goji here, Goji, and Dusty Plum look similar. Let's compare the old Mega Pro palette to the two original Pro palettes. Now this is the Mega Pro 2 on the top and the Pro 2 on the bottom. They are both the cooler tone in the palettes that they have. The color Buff, which is the first color on the Pro 2, looks similar to the color Porcelain, which is the top on the Mega Pro 2. And also, it actually looks more similar to Custard, which is that one right there. This color Nectar right here looks very similar to Melon. Cocoa, which is this brown, shimmery brown right here, looks really similar to Dark Sienna. This is swatches of Dark Sienna right here and Cocoa right here. They look pretty similar. There's also a silver down here and a gunmetal up here. This bottom one is supposed to be the gunmetal and this top one is the silver. There is a difference when the light's shining upon them. So this is what the two palettes look like, the Mega Pro 2 and the regular Pro 2. Oh, and there's a color here called Ash that's supposed to be a gray, and the color down here is called Charcoal. Let me swatch those as well. So, Ash, Charcoal. They're both supposed to be grays. Charcoal is darker than Ash is. So that's Mega Pro 2 and regular Pro 2. Excuse how busted my original Pro looks. Now this is the Mega Pro 2 and the original Lorac Pro palette. As you can see, it's my favorite palette. It's well loved. I've hit pan on taupe and sable, and I really wish they would sell them in single form. I know that they had a competition like a year or so ago on Facebook where you could vote for your favorite shade in the Pro palette and they would make it permanent as a single. The one that I liked didn't win. I'm pretty sure it was mauve, that one. Yeah, not sable, because that's my favorite transition or crease color of all time. And taupe is my favorite all over lid color as a base before you put on like any other shimmery shadows. So the Pro 1 is a warmer tone than the Mega Pro 2. I'm not really seeing any colors right now that look like duplicates, except this light pink right here, which is matte, and this peony up here look very similar, but peony is shimmer and light pink is matte. Let me swatch those. They're pretty much the same shade, but obviously one is shimmer and one's not. Let me swatch Sable and Cabernet next to each other. Cabernet and Sable. Oop, that's not a good one. And Sable. I guess Cabernet can be my Sable replacement, but it has a more berry toned than Sable. Sable is a reddish brown. Cabernet is a more berry tone. There's also the standard black that comes in every palette in here and here as well. I don't see any other colors that look like they would be similar. So here's my collection of all of the Pro palettes from Lorac. I love this range. I had never tried anything by Lorac prior to trying the Pro palettes, but I'm so glad that I did. Their shadows are so blendable and they're buttery and they're pigmented. I know a lot of people complain about fallout with them because they're so soft, but fallout doesn't really bother me. One, it doesn't show up as much on my skin tone because I'm darker. And two, maybe it's the way that I apply it, I don't feel like I have much fallout. But I love these palettes. The Pro 1 is my favorite of all time. That's this one right here. I hit pan on several shades. It's just absolutely amazing. I don't use the Pro 2 as much, I'm not even going to lie. It's cool toned and I prefer warmer toned shades. I do really like this green, metallic green color here, Jade, but yeah, this thing has barely been touched. Maybe I should sell it. The Mega Pro one, I like this one as well. This one's more warm toned. I like it, I just feel like there's a whole bunch of light shades which all show up the same shade on me. But I do like it as a whole. This color maroon here is nice. So is Opal right here. It's a really good inner corner highlight. And Mulberry is a good color to put in your crease to add some warmth. And if you like a red tone in your crease, which I know I do, that's nice as well. But this video is mainly about the Lorac Mega Pro 2. Would I suggest the Mega Pro 2 if you wanted to buy it? I would say yes. There's a lot of colors in here that I think are very unique, which I think is why the Lorac Pro palettes are so popular. Because you get a lot of mattes and a lot of shimmers. I know I prefer matte shadows over shimmer shadows right now. I used to be really into shimmer shadows, which is why I have so much Urban Decay. But now I prefer mostly matte and then maybe a shimmer on my lid. So these palettes are nice because they give you shimmer and matte shades. There's also a lot of unique colors. I'm sorry, my phone keeps going off. Sorry about that. There are a lot of unique colors. Because the sample sizes of the shadows are so small, they can provide you with a lot of colors. There are a lot of colors in here that I know I don't have in my normal collection, and they are colors that you would only get in a palette. Like most people probably wouldn't buy an orange. I know that some people would, but most people would not. The only thing I would have to say is if you're a woman of a darker skin tone, all of these light shades, basically these first 2 rows, maybe even 3, are kind of just going to look all the same on you. So if you, how many shadows did it say there are? What's 16 plus 16? 30, there's 32. If having, what's 32 minus 8? 8 less shadows out of 32 that you really can use because they all look the same on you is not worth it, then I would say don't buy it. But I have to have all of the Pro palettes in my collection because the formula of the shadows is just so good that I feel like it's worth having every single one of them. Now, this palette was $59, and I think it's an Ulta exclusive. Now, the new Urban Decay Vice palette just came out as well, and I'm pretty sure that's the same price, $59, but it's not 32 shadows. I think it's only 20. You do get a cool little makeup bag that the palette comes in, and I think they always give you a double-ended brush. Don't know about this time because I haven't bought it yet. I'm going to try to buy that and do a video on that as well. But I feel like the Lorac Pro palettes are a better investment because it has those matte and shimmer shadows. Urban Decay has good colors, but a lot of their colors don't work together in a total palette, and they give you so many shimmer shades, there's never any mattes. So I would say if you're looking for a complete package or something you can travel with, because they also give you a good size mirror, I would say pick the Lorac Pro palettes and go ahead and snag your Mega Pro now before the end of the holidays, because I know it will sell out and it's limited edition, so make sure you get it now. The 2 regular Pro palettes, those are permanent, but the Mega Pros are both limited edition. Yeah, well, I think that's all I have to say about my impression or comparison of all the Lorac Mega Pro palettes, or all the Lorac Pro palettes, specifically the Lorac Mega Pro 2. I'm going to try to make a blog post with more detail about them, and prices and everything will be listed down below. So if you have any more information, feel free to leave a comment, ask me a question, I'll answer them. Make sure you like this video, thumbs it up, subscribe, you know, all the stuff that you're supposed to do. And I will see you next time. Bye!